Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. My name is Kwabena. Welcome. I want to share with you something about finance. And, you know, people laugh and like money. And they say that the love of money is the root of all evil. A man's heart is totally for God or it's totally for money. Money can be a God over a man's life. And if every decision that you make, if it's about the money has become the God in your life. And people can place everything under money. There's a lot that we can do without this same money as well. When they, when you become aware of living on this earth, the normal part is that they send you to school, and then after school you have to go and look for job. And the reason you're looking for job is really so that you can get salary. And then maybe after that they tell you to marry. And then you have to find a way of giving birth to children. It's a cycle. But the job component has become like a continuation of the school. So majority of the worst people, even if they have never worked for money, are more used to getting a salary, and they cannot ever think of living without one. For many people, it's dangerous and disastrous to ever conceive the idea that, especially those who have worked and been taking salary for a while, they cannot ever conceive or ever fathom that their lives could go on without predictable salary, whether weekly or monthly. So when it comes to people ever considering to start a business, many of them will never ever dare to start that business in their heart if they ever been addicted to salary, and they think of how can I live without being sure of the next month salary. If it does not come on the 21st or the 25th or the 30th, a lot of things don't, people, the family becomes calm and quiet, and the men become silent and the women become jittery. A lot of things don't go as expected. Very few of the people who work to receive salary are in a very high bracket that if they get 1 month's salary, they can use it for the next 4 or 5 months. Majority of us, we have to have the salary, or the next month will not end well. We have to look for a way of supplementing the salary. And so, can you live and maintain your lifestyle without the salary, or without salary for the next 12 months? That's a tough question. It's a very tough question for a lot of people. Very tough question. Is it possible? Of course it is, because some people live without it anyway. If you happen to lose the job that you have, can you maintain that lifestyle that you have placed everyone, you have placed that lifestyle above every one of us? When people start to receive salary, those who receive substantial salary, when you meet them, they want to act as if they are rich. But for how long can you keep that kind of lifestyle if you happen to have a problem at the job, or your company is closed down, or they fire you, or something happens and they can pay you? Can you keep this lifestyle that you have convinced yourself that you have arrived, and the next moment the salary will not come? Can you keep that lifestyle? If you cannot keep that lifestyle, then you are living a lie. Then you're living a lie. You're just saying that you have it, but really you've been addicted to this salary. And most people's addiction goes beyond just addiction. It's really something that they can never ever perceive. So anytime that there's a tendency for them to, let some people go, fire some people from the job, you cannot sleep. It's not because you love the job so much. No, it's because of the monthly salary. And without it, you cannot keep that car that you have. Your children probably will be taken out of that school. That house, probably the mortgage on it will become trouble. Or you have to become a thief one way. And I think this kind of lifestyle, this kind of panic is very much common. Very much common. Even if the salary is not enough, it still can solve something for us. So if you have to think of the fact that, hey, the next month no salary is coming, or I want to start a business, sometimes you can get some discussion with friends, and they say that, hey, so can you just survive? How do you survive without salary? How do you think of it? How do I do it? They pay me 10,000 a month, they pay me 5,000 a month, and have this desire to start a business. But I cannot see myself as not being able to be sure of how much is coming in at the end of the month. If the salary is so much important to you and you're addicted to it, don't jump. Don't go and start the business. Let the business rest and you'll get your salary and be happy. Because the lifestyle of the people who start business, one of the things that they obviously may have been able to handle or overcome is the fact that there's not going to be any salary at the end of the month, and you still have to find a way of living and possibly, be able to do the things that you have to do. So the world has programmed all of us to get hooked to salary and the pride that comes with it. That's why when you're discussing things about employment and salary, it's that much. It's a lot of people can relate to it. A lot of people can relate to it. But the job should not, or the salary should not become something that prevents you from pursuing your dream. So financial knowledge can help us to reduce a lot of corruption and unethical ways of getting money. Okay, so when you think of you not being able to have monthly salary for the next 12 months, and you think of your children's school fees, you think of your mother who is waiting for you, you think of your mortgage or the house that you want to build, the school fees that you want to pay, the suit that you're always changing every month, the phone, the nice phone that you bought for 30,000 Ghana cedis, the place that you live that you cannot drop it, and you think of it, and you shake. It means that financial knowledge is that much weak. For most people, it's get to school, get a job, go to school, get a job, get salary, marry. That's the part that a lot of us understand. And I don't think Africans should follow that kind of pattern, because I think job really became so much popular when the people started to industrialize. And we have not gone through any industrialization. So when you hear of job, it's just a certain percentage. Consistent job that pays a little bit, well, for people to keep their livelihood and wait for it. I think it's just a little percentage of our people who can really have access to this kind of so-called jobs. Okay, if you take the government out, very few percentage of us, very few people, very few number of us really have these so-called jobs that we can plan anything with and get hooked up with it. Because the jobs, a lot of it, especially if you look at the jobs that the men who didn't go to school can do, because the women can easily go to the market. If you go to the market, especially this mini market, a lot of them are women. The men probably would have to go to farm or work in the factories. But how many of us have the factories, the warehouses, that we work? So a large number of our society, even though they use those words, job, salary, monthly payment, but a lot of our people still are not in that kind of category. So let's say the few of us who are in that kind of category, how do we live? How do you live? Can you ever think of, if they fire me from this bank work, this insurance work, if these ministries that I, the government that I work, if they fire me, what will happen to me? Salary can be addictive. And people look up to it. There is nothing wrong with it. But if you have worked for a while, if you have worked for some years, and you still have to wait for the next salary before you can keep the what is it? Is it the home or the house going? Then there is challenge, and there is a challenge. It means that there's still a lot that you probably have not put rightly. And don't forget that there is a lot of us who don't even have to have any monthly salary at all. It's not that we have business that we are doing, but we have no jobs. We don't have anything to do, and we just have to get by. And so if you happen to have a job and you happen to have some kind of salary and you have worked for over 5 years, 10 years, and they decide to let you go, how are you going to keep that lifestyle? Just a hypothesis. Just think through and see the emotions. Would your wife be there? Or she will pack and go? So if you're that much hooked to the salary, such that you don't even like the work, you don't like it, you complain every day going to work, you pain every day going to work, but you still cannot do without it. It can be very much a frustrating situation, but it's a condition that you have accepted. Entrepreneurs have most entrepreneurs, the people who have started to do something, or who have to have their own way of starting business, have virtually conditioned themselves out of this pain. They have moved themselves out of this pain for them to always wait for monthly salary, and if it doesn't come, they cannot keep their lifestyle. The thing is that it depends on where you live and which part of the world that you live. There are some places that if you have no salary at all and you have nothing, there's no uncle, there's no sister, there's no brother, there's no abusuapanyin that you can go and stay. You just have to find a way to get a job, or you'll be on the street. In our country, some people can be without job for 10 years and they live in their father's house. Anyways, so how do you, if the salary is not coming, how do you how do you buy MTN credit? How do you go to buy Waji? How do you pay the rent? How do you buy your shoe? How do you pay the children's school fees if you have any? And how do you give the chop money if the salary is not coming? What can you do, and what are you going to do if nothing is coming in for the next 12 months? If it has to happen to you, what would you do? Have you ever thought of it, that if I have nothing coming, do I have enough savings coming in, or do you have enough investment to keep this kind of lifestyle going till I find another job? And if for 12 months you have not found any job and you don't do anything at all, and you are not sure of where the next salary is coming from, can you keep your lifestyle? Because the thing is that sometimes the salary is small, which is true, but majority of us, the lifestyle that we have raised for ourselves don't really measure up with the kind of revenue that we get. So it doesn't matter how much they even pay us. We drive big, we live big, we wear big suits, we represent at every occasion. We have that quick desire to let people know that we have arrived somewhere and that we are rich and successful. But really, we know that if the salary does not come the next month, or if they have to fire us from the job, this lifestyle, this perceive, this facade that we have created for everybody to believe in, cannot be substantiated. So there's no need trying to impress people and trying to tell people that you are rich, because let's say very few people, those who understand money, very few of us ever believe that if you have to wait for monthly salary all your life, you are rich. I don't think a lot of us, the people who don't have anything, will just think that, oh, this man works in a bank, this man works in an insurance company, so he's rich. But a lot of people who understand finance and understand money and understand how uh, money is created and the kind of lifestyle most of these guys live, you cannot convince any of us that you are rich. So you are the only one and trying to convince yourself that you're rich. So if the money starts to come in and if you start to work, I think that it's important that you really reduce your standard of living if you are not going to expand the income. If you're not, it's two options. Maybe you have 5,000 coming in, but you live large, you live big, you want to impress people. And I think a lot of people are quick to impress people, which is of no use. Some people, you're paid 1,000, maybe 5,000 a month, which very few people get, Ghana City, and yet you rent a place which is 2,000. I think that's outrageous. I think that is not for your standard. I think that 10% of your salary should pay the rent, not more. Not more. So if more than 10% of your salary is paying the rent, you will always be, you always vacillate. You always shake. And then you have children's school. Your children's school fees 3 months. If you have one, maybe you are paying 2,000 for 3 months or 3,000 for 3 months, and you receive 5,000. How are you going to live? Let's say you receive 5,000, if you're married, let's say your wife also receives 5,000, 10,000 budget. Let's face it, if you pay the rent or you pay the mortgage and you pay the children's school fees, and both of you are driving, which is on loan, there will be panic. There will be panic. So I think that for me, the comfort of having enough save to keep this kind of lifestyle that we have created for ourselves, for, let's say, if nothing is coming in, let's say we have 10,000. If nothing is coming in and you spend, let's say, we have 10,000, you spend about 5,000 every month, which obviously is more, because if both of you are driving and the cars are not paid fully, a lot of them also even go for cars on loan and mortgage, or I don't know how they build their house anyway. So even if it's rent, it's likely that 10,000 is virtually gone. It's virtually gone. If I were in that position, I would not rent that kind of house, 2,000. I won't. I will be looking for 500 Ghana cedis or something. If the car is expensive, you probably have to drop one. Because my interest is, how do we get a lot saved so that if per chance something happens and they say that don't come to work again, at least we will have some kind of significant money saved for the peace to be at home, for us to have peace. At least if you have 20,000 or 30,000 saved somewhere, or even treasure bills or invested somewhere, and our monthly expenditure is, say, 2,000, because that is what is coming in, and we don't want to cheat, we don't want to steal. At least if they fire me and they fire her and both of us are at home, at least 2,000 that we spent, and we have about 30,000 saved, we'll be able to keep our lifestyle for the next, maybe 10, 15 months for us to find another one. And I think 10, 15 months will be enough for you to at least get something to work out. But if you are getting that and you're in your lifestyle, you're renting somewhere around East Legon, you're driving big, you are traveling to Dubai and America every now and then, trying to create the impression that you're rich, that is the problem. That's why you cannot live for the next 12 months if the salary does not come in. And so it's two ways. It's either you try to re-strategize the outflow of the cash that comes to the family, or you start to extend the income. And most often people who are working somewhere find it difficult to increase the income. So if you cannot increase the income and you have to just fight for the salary to come in, then look at the waste. And a lot of it can be waste. I knew somebody who was not working. The husband was having part-time job, and both of them were driving cars, and they were complaining that the country is difficult to live in Ghana. I think that sometimes it's not that it's difficult, it's the lifestyle, it's our understanding of the finance, it's our management, it's our discipline. That is what creates this panic at home. And the thing is that if you don't have that kind of amount somewhere, there's always pressure in the house. The pressure will be there, and they tend to affect the children, and they tend to affect the family, the marriage, they tend to affect even your health. And so you just have to look at it that if I happen, there's a hypothesis. If I happen to, hypothetical situation, if I happen to be fired, and you are saying that, I will pray, nothing of that sort will come. No, no, not you pray, but have a situation, have a strategy, have a plan. Because if you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur, the fact is that for the next, if you start a business, maybe you don't even want to maybe you don't even you want to even have that kind of allowance of say 12 months. If nothing comes in, we can still keep this family together and keep this lifestyle. Maybe that money that can do that, maybe you might want to even start a business with it. Can you start to think through something of that sort? Because some of us all our lives we were not paid any monthly, so it's not in our psyche to be waiting for any salary. But if you have worked for a while, it's in your psyche now, and it becomes that much difficult. Even if you see another opportunity somewhere, you become, no, I can't do this, I can't take this, because if I take this, how am I going to take care of the children's school fees? How am I going to take care of the home? How am I going to pay my car loan, my house mortgage? How am I going to dress and do my nails and my makeup and wear the suit and tie, go to the motor joint with my boys, go and watch the movie? Majority of the people don't have that kind of allowance, and I think that's why the corruption is high, because the financial knowledge is weak. Okay, and you still want to keep that kind of lifestyle, because the fact is that if you're good-hearted, which most people are, they are good-hearted. They don't want to cheat anybody. They don't want to lie. They don't, even if they work with the government, they don't want to lie. They just want to live within their means. But because the waste is so high, anytime that they get any opportunity that they think that they can massage some things in their favor, they will do it, because the financial knowledge is weak, the financial discipline is weak, and they don't want to drop the lifestyle also. So they have to choose between. So now let me go and change some of the figures so I can get 1 million Ghana city, I can get $1 million, and buy the Land Cruiser, go and buy a house at East Legon, and I'm still working as a government employee. That amazes me, that a government employee which is paid 2,000, 3,000 can buy a house in a very prominent area and send their children to foreign school, and own a lot of properties. It's amazing. It's amazing. So if you don't want to compromise your value system, which I think is far more important than money. Your value system keeps your peace, keeps your integrity, keeps everything, keeps your joy, it keeps your Christian values, it keeps it keeps a lot of things. But if you know that the value systems are weakened or are compromised because you have to keep this kind of lifestyle, it's because your financial knowledge was weak. Because sometimes you are the one who, you just rush your lifestyle. It's not like anybody thought that you are rich. Let's face it. If you have to rush early in the morning, go to work, nobody thinks that you're rich. Just trying to get by. You just have salary, which is good. No matter how much they pay you, have a house, which is good, but that's not richness. You have a nice car, which is good, but let's face it, that is far from being rich. That's just you trying to get a living. And there's nothing wrong with that. But try not to tell people that you are rich because you're receiving salary. That's not true. The very rich people in the world, they don't wait for monthly salary. If anybody who is waiting for monthly salary and without it, the family will not live, it's not rich. So let's face it, that is not on the table. So, but you can do something to at least lengthen the days, lengthen the months, that you don't have to go into panic. Because if you think of you being fired or being released from the job, I mean, it becomes disastrous. And some people, which a lot of people, get into divorce when the finances at home were distorted, when the man was fired from the job, when the woman was fired from the job, and nothing was coming in. The pressure at home increased, and then there was a breaking point, and the whole family was scattered and distorted and destroyed. Why? Because the job was gone. It's not so much the job that was gone, but it's the fact that they could not keep that lifestyle. Okay, they could not keep that lifestyle because they were living way above the kind of revenue or the kind of income that was coming. And so there should be substantial income to the family. And one of the best is maybe you start to do some other things to supplement the income. And I think that those are the things that we should encourage a lot of our people to do, because the fact is we have character challenge as a country. We have character challenge as a country. We can deny it, we can lie about it, but let's face it, anytime that you hear anybody had access to any money anywhere, we hear the kind of things that we tend to hear, shows that it is an epidemic that we have to look at. Okay, because people are trying to live the lifestyle of people who have created the wealth themselves. The man has a factory, has a business. He's trying to do his things, and out of the excess revenue, he tries to, spend on himself. Now you have none of that. You are just a head of a government institution, and you have a lot of money. Where did you get that money from? You are just a head of somebody's company, and you have a lot of money. Where did you get that money from? So there's a problem with which I think that we should be bold enough to say that yes, we have a character issue as a people, and we have to just look at how to solve it. I think part of it is coming from the very culture, the very environment that we were born into, and the kind of financial understanding, the financial knowledge, the financial discipline that we have. Okay, persuasion, because you can be a very young man and yet your ideas could be so much old and very much unproductive. Okay, so there is a problem with our character in terms of money. There is, and they come in different forms, but largely we have difficulty with character, because you are there and a young woman comes to buy something from you and says that, oh, add some values to the invoice. My boss will not see it, and it's not like she's even shy. She's just saying it like that, and she comes and she's singing Christian song. It's a character problem that we have. You put them on the board somewhere, and if they find another company and put it there, and they are the one giving the contract to themselves, they put somebody somewhere, and the money, because people want to have access to the money that they didn't work for. Why? It's because, I think partly it's because the financial knowledge is weak, the financial understanding is weak, in the environment, the way we place money and financial success, and how we see it and how money is made. I think a lot of it we have to get some kind of improvement. We really do, because if the system is porous, and then anybody at all can get any money anyhow, and people will not be punished for it, and that's what we are used to. But I think that you as a person should have your own values, that there's no need. Because the fact is that money was not meant to be stolen. You don't cheat to get money. Money is not like that. Even the money that you have genuinely, it's trouble trying to manage it. How much more the one that you stole that belongs to the people? You don't need that. And so, but if your financial knowledge is weak, you will not be able to maintain the lifestyle, and you cannot even fathom. You cannot even think of not having salary for the next 12 months. You panic. Why? And that's why you start to do all kind of deals and means, because you want the money, and you want to stack the money somewhere, so that even if they fire you, you can still keep that lifestyle. You can still keep that lifestyle and still keep your values. If you do extra studies, if you do extra work, if you get more disciplined, if you think through can still be a person of character, of values, of ethics, and still keep your lifestyle, because nobody is rushing you to go and live in a very expensive house. Once your salary, your income cannot keep up with it. Nobody is trying to rush you to send your children to a very expensive school. Once you know the total income that comes to the family, the total income that comes to the family is not enough. Nobody is rushing you. You can still maintain your lifestyle. You can still keep one car. You can still keep your children in a moderate school and spend time with those children yourself. Because it's not the school that you're sending the children to that will change their family, that will change their future. It's not true. It's the character that you leave in those children. Okay, so you are cheating everybody. You are compromising a lot of values to put your children into the so-called top schools. You're lying. You know why? You're lying because you're sacrificing somebody's worth, somebody's money, somebody's time to get benefit for yourself. And you think that your children's future is secure? No, those children are looking up to you. They see everything that you're doing. If you're hardworking, they see it. If you're trustworthy, they see it. If you have integrity, they see it. And nothing secures your children's future more than the integrity that you give them. The hard work ethics, If you work hard, if you are honest, and if you stay and disciplined, those things build them than more than any other thing. It's not the high school that you're sending them to. When you send them there and you didn't give them this, they will go and destroy. So you can keep within your family. There is no need to create a lot of pressure. Nobody is rushing you. You can still live in a very moderate house and keep a lot of things going. And that is what the people who have really created wealth do. There's no rich man, genuine one, not the one who, the ones who are taking a lot of bribe money. No, I'm talking of the genuine ones, at least those who are trying to be genuine, who are working, and you can see that this man created this money from this, created this. I'm not talking of free money. No, I'm talking of the one who had something done and got paid for, realistically. Those kind of people, if you look at how they live, if you see him with Land Cruiser, he can buy 100 of those Land Cruisers. That's why he has it. He's not saving to go and buy a Land Cruiser. No. He buys the Land Cruiser out of his abundance. If you see him having very nice house in any area, it's just about 1% or 0.5% of his total worth to build that house that he's living in. Now, the average one who cannot even live without salary is saving a lot of money to go and build a house. And it's as if somebody is on his neck to go and build that house. And they call that house an investment. It's not an investment. Anything that is not bringing income cannot be an investment. Never. An investment must bring money. If it's not bringing money, it's not an investment. So that 3-bedroom house, that 10-bedroom house that you have built, that you want to show everybody that you have a house, just a poor man's strategy of wealth. And we are very much into that in our country, where people's sense of wealth is when I have a nice car, then I'm wealthy. I have money, so I have a car. Or when my children go to very expensive school, it means that I have money. If I wear a suit that is very expensive, it is matter. If my wedding was very expensive, it means that I was rich. Those are all not realistic, because you still go to the work that you still complain about. You don't like it, but you still have to go. And if they don't pay you that salary, the next 2 months, trouble come. So there is a lot of, because of the environment that we live in, because a lot of our people still don't go and look for proper knowledge, proper way of doing things. We are copying from the same kind of information, environment. That is what has convinced us, the same kind. So our understanding of what it means to create wealth really for freedom is a bit weak. It's a bit weak. So if you look, you'll see that people spend a lot of money on parties, and sometimes when they go church and give offering, they think that will secure their financial future. That cannot secure your financial future. Okay, if that were true, a lot of pastors will not die in penury and poverty. That is not true. It's your strategy, it's your discipline, it's your lifestyle. So how are you handling some of these things? Because you can still, you can be paying you 1,000 Ghana a month, and your the household income could be Could be yeah, misplaced priorities. Yes, there's a lot of misplaced priorities. There's a lot, and that's what is creating the panic. So once they start to say that they will sack you from the job, you are panicking. You can't stand. You're panicking, or you have to steal. You have to steal. They leave you to handle. There are a lot of accountants that the kind of story that you can hear on people who are keeping people's books and in charge of the salaries that they pay. They buy a lot of people's, ghost names. All our lives, we have been hearing of ghost names. Ghost names. What is ghost name? Somebody trying to put somebody there who didn't work so that they can take the money. It's weak financial discipline, is weak financial knowledge. And the same people profess to be religious. It's amazing. It's amazing. So you don't have to live with that panic that if they sack me from this job, I have nothing. My life will be, you see, when you are going to marry, they ask you, oh, what work does the man do? I'm always amazed with that kind of question, because how about if they fire the man the next Sunday? He married the Sunday, the next Monday he went to work and they fired him. What would the man do? So the question is not what work does the man do, but really how much does he have to keep the family going if there's no income? I think that would be more better approach to what you want to achieve, because you want to make sure that the man has a job so that he can take care of the family. Yes, but he can have a job and still not be disciplined at all. Or you can have a job and be fired the next day, or the company collapses, or like some of the banks that they are closing down. So you built all your life for the last 10 years around this bank, and everywhere you go, where do you work? I work with Capital Company, Capital Bank. I work with UT Bank, and suit and tie, and you're acting as if you're very much successful. It's a mirage. It's facade. It's hypocritical. Because until you have a lot to save to keep that kind of lifestyle, you should be humble enough to drop your standard so that you can have a lot of allowance. Because if nothing is saved, maybe I can live on 1,000 for the next 3 months because of that kind of lifestyle. Maybe I will not go to the party. I will not go and eat somewhere. I will not go and buy that kind of shoe. I will not do that kind of, because so if I have 1,000, it will be enough for me to keep the kind of lifestyle that I have. But maybe you spend 1,000 in a day and yet you don't have much. That is where the misunderstanding is. And as usual, the African would have to, sorry to say, there's something in his emotions that has to be filled with the praise from people. Praise from people. You look for praise from people. You look for acceptance from people. So you have to create a false impression of worth. Even the business people do it all the time. They have to come and blow their horns. Just yelp, talk so much and nothing to prove. You don't need to blow your horns on anything. Just have it there. When you're selling car, and you put your number on it, the kind of calls that you get. Oh, Masa, you will come, you test the car, you move around, you tell you that, oh, I'll call. That's it. But he was saying that the money was in his account. There are a lot of people like that. They talk to blow their horns because they don't want to be marginalized. They don't want to be kept at a low profile. Because the problem is they are not comfortable with their own philosophy and with their own personality. So they have to blow it. And that's why you work somewhere, all your friends are buying cars with the bank money, buying cars with in the company with the loan. And you have to have a different strategy to say, no, I don't need this. I will go and buy maybe Vibe somewhere, 30,000. The bank is giving you 100,000 to go and buy a nice car. You can take the 100,000, but buy Corolla 20,000 somewhere. Keep the 80,000 for something good. If they fire you, you have money. You will not be in panic. You will not be hysterical. You will not be angry. You will not be sad. You can still have time to strategize and get to the next phase of your life. But if you took that and you went to buy that car and went to your village and you drove and they were saying that, Kwabena grow, and that they will tell you, everybody will be very happy. Because to a lot of our folks, if you have a nice car, it means that you're successful. Ah, it don't be pa kwasiesi. Nya grokra me konkran. And that has nothing to show that Kwasi is rich. Because if they fire Kwasi the next day, the bank will take the house back. Because Kwasi is not doing that out of his surplus, out of his excess. If he's rich, they spend out of the excess. Those who are wealthy spend out of the excess because they have enough financial discipline to create a lot of value over time. So some people can work, and if they fire them for the next 10 years, they can still live without taking anybody's money, without dropping their lifestyle, because they manage their lifestyle. You know, they were not in haste. They increase your salary small. Yes, they so that they put up appearances, lifestyle, which they can afford. That's true. And that's where the problem is actually with people who went to school. A lot of people who went to school would always have to create that kind of face, you know, appearance to look for validation. It's not needed. Work on that side of your life so that you can live a lifestyle that the revenue or the salary that you're getting is within. So if you can afford 10,000, what is it? 10,000 shoe. Why do you have to buy it? Why not buy 1,000? Because that is within your reach, so that you can have. Because the money, when there's trouble, is the liquid. It must come. It's either you have the liquid or you have something that brings in the liquid every day. One of them. It's either the money is there or something is bringing the money every day. And that's why those of us who do a lot of project and construction are always in trouble, because you pump the money every day and it doesn't come back every day, you know. But somebody who's selling banana and you know, somebody who sees money every day is far better than you who you are pumping every millions, but if they don't pay you, there's trouble. So it's the same. The essence is having the cash and putting the cash somewhere that when there's trouble you can get it. But they pay you, and 2 weeks the money is gone. The money is gone, and you have done this work for the last 10 years. Somebody will say that, but the salary is too small. I can't do anything with it. You may be right. The salary will be too small, maybe. And if they pay you anything less than 1,000, is tough, you know, especially if you have a wife. Anything less than even 2,000 is difficult, and I can appreciate that. But it's still your duty to create that life that you can have a breathing space. So that you don't have to create. If they're asking you where is your car and you don't have car, doesn't mean anything. If they're asking you where is your this and you don't have it, doesn't mean anything. What is important is that at least you have something somewhere that you know that if there is a disaster anywhere, you can keep this family together for the next maybe 10 months or 20 months or 50 months, whatever. You know, you can keep the family together for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You know, rent or the house can still be paid. The school fees can still be paid. There can still be some food at home. And if there is any sickness, there can be something that you can do. You know, the things that waste a lot of our money as Africans, let's face it, we try not to discuss them, but they are true. There are a lot of things that take a lot of our money for nothing. And they have put those ideas in us so much that we dare not even question it. A lot of things. What are the first 5 things that are always taking money from you? List them. What is it that you think that you can drop? What is it that you think that you can maximize? List them. Usually it's the rent, the food, the school fees, sometimes donations. Every now and then somebody is calling you to come and bring money that you have no idea what they use the money for, and you cannot even question them, and they will not be accountable to you, you know, but they are asking for that money every day. Donations could be church, it could be family people, it could be friends, it could be old school people. There's always somebody somewhere where there's funeral, somebody is doing weddings, somewhere everybody is trying to ask money from somebody every time. I think a lot of the donations should be coming from people who have a lot of money, excess. Not you, who has very, very much, you know, the gap is so little, and yet everybody is asking you for money every time. And they don't even give you money. They don't bring money to you at all. They take their money, but they still go around asking people for lorry fare, for this, for that. And there's always one kind of emergency or the other that if you don't give them, there's trouble. But when you are in trouble, nobody comes to help you. I think you look at those things. You look at those things, like the way they tell you. There was a time that somebody had kept our payment for so long, and when the guy was paying us, he told us that, hey, go to church and give a tithe on it. I'm like, this guy is crazy. The money that we borrowed to work for you, that you kept it for years, now that you are paying, if not fully, you are just paying a fraction because we had to just agree on something. You are also telling me that I should go and pay tithe on that money. You're crazy, But if I were naive, then I would take that money, go and give it to tithe, and then the business will collapse. Because I'll be waiting for God to bring some miracle somewhere so that the business will flourish. No business flourishes because it's miracle. Businesses grow because there's discipline. There are things that you're doing rightly. If a business should grow out of miracle, then Dangote will not have any in business at all. Then the people who don't believe in God will not have any business at all. So these are some of the things that they will say, and you keep to do them, you keep doing them, and it comes to a point you have nothing, and that's why there's panic. So every time somebody is trying to take, you are receiving 5,000 every month, somebody tells you that bring 10% every day, 10% every month, 10%. And then after the 10%, there's another one that. So how much is left? So maybe 50% goes to things that you have no control. That somebody has just told you that it's a must, you must do it or you'll not be rich. Yet you have done it for 10 years and you are not rich. It's not questionable. It's not questionable. So these are some of the things. It's religious, it's debatable, and it gets some people furious, but it's also keeping a lot of us poor. And that's why we continue to work at the place that we don't like. But we have nothing to save. We have nothing saved. We have nothing invested. We have worked all our lives. And if you don't lie and cheat, we probably will not even build our own house or buy our own car if you don't lie and cheat. And that's why most people who have ever built anything in this country or bought anything, few of them can prove that I worked and out of the profit I used to buy this genuinely. Majority of the people, you can ask the source, because we know that which comes to them cannot buy this. We know that. Why? Because there's pressure on their money. Constant pressure. Constant pressure. Somebody is always asking for money. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about, can you live for the next year if you had no salary coming in? And if you happen to be an entrepreneur, that one is no news to you. For there are a lot of the times that you had nothing coming in and nowhere to go. Nowhere, especially at the beginning. No pay, nothing. And so if you have been in it for a while, you don't even remember. When the end of the month is coming, you are not even worried. You don't even remember because you don't expect anything anyway. So if you don't go, you eat. And I think that is the shift that most people cannot overcome. That is the emotional thing that most people cannot overcome. They cannot overcome that thing that at the end of the month nobody will pay me. And that's why most people who even try to start business, they come and they see that, hey, the last one that was nothing came in, and then they rush and go out. They rush and go back quick. And say, oh no, I tried something, but Charlie, it's very difficult. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. It's because you are addicted to the salary. You're addicted and you want to keep a lifestyle which is still very much high, as if you had money. But if you didn't want to go back, you could drop your lifestyle to go through this pain. Because building a business, you have to drop a lot of things. You have to drop a lot of things. You have to live barely on a very minute, very little, money so that the business can take. So when the others are looking for boom, 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 you cannot. It's not, you may not even have the money. You may have the money. But if you pick it from the business, it will collapse. So when they come and they rush back to work, and go for salary, it's not because it was difficult. It was because they like enjoyment. So they could not understand why they were taking 5,000. Now 2 million is 200 Ghana is coming in. And that 200 Ghana, you want me to eat wache and kelewele and cocoa and base? No, 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 no. I'm not used to that. You want me to go and live in a single room? No, no, no. I want an apartment with air conditioning at East Legon. You cannot keep that kind of lifestyle if you don't have the revenue and still think that you want to build a business. So once you make the mind to build a business, then be comfortable with yourself, to accept to go through that humble stage. It's a humble stage, it's a humbling stage. It's true, it's frustrating. A lot of people will ask you a lot of questions. Are you mad? Why do you have to put yourself through this? Don't worry, so far as you know that the business is picking, because a time will come that what they make in a month, you will make it in an hour if you build that business and continue to build it and go through that. So it's a stage that you're going through, it's a stage that you're going through. And once it's a stage that you are going through, and it's the fact that you are building a business, then you don't care. And that's what a lot of people cannot put up with it, because they want the suit. Now you don't want to wear suit, you're wearing t-shirt, because man, it's tough. Children's school fees you cannot even pay. It's tough. And if you used to eat 3 times a day, now you have to eat 1 time a day, because the business is picking. It's green. It's green. It's at the basic stage. If you slip, the business will die. If you slip, you get frustrated and give up. Now that is the kind of discipline that you want, and you cannot have that kind of discipline if you are addicted to salary and very much consumed by what others think. So you are the one that you are just splashing money every day, telling people that you're rich. You don't need that. Work on yourself so that you can build your dream. Okay, work on yourself. So it's either you're saving. If you can save that, you can easily transit to building your dream, or even saving that kind of money for the future if you so want. Because at any point that you cannot see yourself without the salary, it means that your future really is gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. And it's a financial knowledge. It's a financial discipline to be able to have a lifestyle that you can live without a salary for the next 12 months. And some people can stretch it for the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And that's those kind of people, when they are working and you see them and they still come to work, that's why they give all their heart. They're never frustrated. They work and they come. They love the work. That's why they come. They are there. They want to make a contribution. They want to make a mark. So they come. They are present. They want to get results. Because if you don't give them the salary, it will not change anything on their life. And it's a discipline. It's not because they may have a lot of money. No, it's because what is coming in is way far more than what they spend every month. Because they have had that discipline. Well, when they started to pay you, you went to buy a land and you wanted to build. You're tired of paying rent. Your car was no good. Now that they increase your salary, you want to buy a new car. Your suit was no good, so fast you went to change your suit. Now you want to think about doing MBA and PhD. You're wasting resources. Because the money, if it's not enough, it creates pressure on the family. So, my name is Kwabena and Marie. Think through, because those of us from this part of the world, there's a lot of unregenerated ideas that are causing a lot of frustration for people for nothing. It's not because people are poor, and sometimes it's not even because people are not paid enough. It's because of wrong financial knowledge, wrong financial discipline, lack of self-validation. There are things that you can do and do them in your style if you want that freedom. If you want to separate yourself from that what is it? It's an English word, I forgot. Like the way snake will bite you, that thing. Okay, Slavi can do that to people. So they can't go. They're afraid. You don't need that. You can structure your life so that you can live below your means. You know, you can still live, keep building the future freedom, keep building the business, keep building everything that you want to build. You know, you may not even want to start a business, but you can still build the wealth that you want to build because it's your wealth, and you have to be in control at least of your life. So, can you live and maintain your lifestyle without the salary? Without salary for the next 12 months, it's within your reach, no matter how much they pay you, and you don't have to become a thief to build your house or to buy a car. You don't have to become a thief, corrupt, to do all the things that you're doing. It doesn't worth it. Because as I said, we have a lot of character problem. Integrity is sacrifice because people don't want to go for the right information to produce the right results and the right discipline. You know, so everybody is trying to do something fast. It doesn't worth it. If it's about money, you don't need to cheat a lot to get it. If it's about money, you can get it if you are disciplined, and if you're patient, and if you continue to grow yourself, you can get it. There's no need. If you look at the waste well, if you sit down to look at the waste well, you can just live very free, comfortable life without creating a lot of things that people are creating. So you meet them, you go to party, and your friends are rolling their keys, and you don't have any key. Just party. Doesn't matter because you have a dream that you're building. You want financial freedom. So let's say you set a target for you for the next 3 years. I want to save 300,000. I want to save 200,000. I want to save 20,000, and I want to invest that money somewhere that can take care of me. So that for the next 1 year, if I decide not to come to work again, at least I have 30,000 invested somewhere that I can take care of me. That is the goal. Or I want to start business the next 3 years, so I want to invest that kind of money so that I can go and start a business. The information, and that's what a lot of the people do. But we, no. We still want to be there, stealing little, you know. And we talk a lot. We talk too much. God. They have to talk for you to know that they are successful. Oh, share the wisdom that somebody can benefit, not that which is not true. Not that which is not true. Say the one which is true, the one that you have done, and not the one that you are trying to blow your horse. And we know that you didn't have that. You didn't have that because if they apply character to your source of income, would it shrink, or it will stay as it is? The income the money that you bring every day to your home or your house, whatever. If they apply character to it, if they throw light on it, do you think that money is true? Do you think if it's 5,000 that you're making every month, if it's 20,000 that you're making every month, do you really think that salary that you're giving, and without all the connections that you're doing in that business? Because connections and lies and cheating collapse business. They have collapsed a lot of businesses. You give the business, you leave it for this accountant to manage. The next time you come, he has paid all his girlfriends. You give it to another manager to manage. The next time you come, he's building his own house with it. He's giving you stories. You give 100,000 for him to come and give accounts on it. He's stealing it. Because character is a major problem for us. It's something that we have to look at, especially when it comes to money. Because people are refusing to get the right financial knowledge, financial discipline, and the financial patience to grow it. So people are waiting for lotto, for miracle, for magic. Okay, and if somebody is waiting for money through a miracle or through lotto, they are the same. The Sakawa boy and the one who's waiting for God to help him get money, there's no difference. No difference. Or the politician who is stealing money, or the pastor who is taking the church money, they are the same. Okay, because there has to be productivity before the money comes. There has to be something that is generating the money, and we have to see it. See that you are selling something, you are producing something. That is why the money is coming. That's why they call the economy of a country. It's out of the production. The economy of the country does not just grow out of nowhere. The commercial activities in that country will grow the economy of the country. Okay, so if there is no commercial activities or increase in commercial activities in the country, there's no way the GDP of that country is going to grow. It's not going to grow. because there's no production. Nobody is creating anything. And if there's no production, there's no employment, there's no product, there's no sales, there's no money creation. So how can an individual have money when they are not creating anything? And they say that, oh, God calls somebody to come and give me. So the way they say that God will favor somebody to come and change your financial situation. You sure? The last 10 years, how many people have come to change your financial situation? That should give you just some wisdom. Suppose every money that you have come to your hands is because the salary came. How many people have come to give you money? Me, I don't know anybody who came to say that God told me to give you 100,000. No, nobody has come to give me any 100,000. I had to work. Okay, so for the next 20 years, I'm not waiting for that. For somebody to from nowhere to come and bring me money so that it will be my financial strategy. No. No. I think that the gift of life or the gift of God is the mind that He has given us. The wisdom, the ideas, the principles. I'll put them to work than waiting for miracle. Okay? Or waiting for lotto or waiting for magic. He's giving you strength. He's giving you brain. He's giving you energy. What else do you need to create the life that you want? The discipline that you want. So work on those. And if you can work on those, nothing can prevent you from having that allowance. At least 1 year, you'll be able to work something out. So that the next year, you can say that if I don't work for 1 year, I will still be able to keep my lifestyle. If I don't receive any salary for the next 12 months, at least I'll be able to keep my family going. I'll be able to send my children to school. I'll be able to do all the things that I have to do. It is a choice. It's planning. And it has nothing to do with you moving to America or England. It's here. It's planning. And there are a lot of people there who, if they don't pay 2 months, they'll be on the street sleeping. I'll tell you. On the street. Ask your brothers there. Ask your sisters there. If they don't pay them, if they don't go to work, if they are invalid and there's no insurance and they don't go to work, how are they going to live? Ask them. Will they be able to pay their mortgage or their rent or send their children to school? Ask them. No. That's why they do 3, 4 jobs, 5 jobs. So don't tell us that, oh, maybe it's only in Ghana. In America, it's not like that. Go ask them. Over 90% of the people, if they don't get salary, trouble. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching.